All across North America are reports and tales of a creature that's become known as the Dogman. It's been described as looking like a strange werewolf-like creature and seems to possess supernatural strength and abilities. Some eyewitnesses have often compared the creature to a more dog-like sasquatch, whereas others believe it to be more of a werewolf beast and at the centre of skinwalker legends. Interestingly, for the past 60 years there have been many reports about these creatures, and as with most of these tales, the majority of these stories follow a similar theme. Researchers have managed to pinpoint the first Dogman sighting to 1887. This was said to have occurred in Wexford County. The story goes that two lumberjacks were having a conversation when one of them spotted something mysterious. He described it as having a man's body and a dog's head. When they noticed it, they quickly left the scene, not wanting to stay and risk getting hurt by the large creature. Fast forward to 1961 and a security guard witnessed something similar in Big Rapids, Michigan. Most of the encounters with these creatures are just stories, and there is no way of backing up what the individual saw. However, the security guard remembered that he had a camera on him, and was in fact able to snap a picture of the large beast. Those who have analysed it says it matches other eyewitness descriptions of the Dogman. Although the majority of the Dogman sightings are from Michigan, there have been some outside of this area that have come forward with similar experiences. One of these occurred in California. One of the strangest reported encounters of the Dogman creature comes from that of reports made in Sacramento, California. According to the reporter, the story circles around that of a woman who claimed to have encountered the Dogman creature near the city of Sacramento, and this happened back in 1953. The sighting is believed to have taken place roughly 1,000 feet west of the American River, a short 2,000 feet east of the state capital, in a small house owned by a small family in the region. According to the woman, she had this sighting when she was roughly 12 years old, and it happened when she was watching TV and laying down on the couch. As she was laying there, she claimed to have noticed a large mass moving in the window as if someone was staring into the home. She quickly got up and went to the window to see a large face of a dog that seemed to be staring into the room. She claimed that the head of the dog looked very large, much larger than that of a coyote or a normal dog of any kind, saying that it had a long straight snout and it was too dark to see what colour it was, but suggested it could have been a dark grey and said it had glowing red eyes. She ran from the window and then noticed the creature began to stand up on its hind legs, and estimated it was over 5 feet above the ground. She screamed for her parents to come, which scared the Dogman away before anything else could occur. She quickly went outside and claimed there was nothing nearby and that the window was far too tall for a dog to be standing up and looking in. Unfortunately, nothing more can be gathered from this report, as the woman wasn't sure of the exact time of day that the event occurred. One of the stranger reports surrounding that of the Dogman comes from New York. According to the report, a woman had arrived home a few minutes after dusk in a rural location, while her two children aged 2 and 11 were sitting in the back seat of the car. The woman reported that as soon as she stepped out the vehicle, she had a sixth sense that something was watching her. She also said there was no noise of any crickets or people nearby. This led to her grabbing the kids and rushing them inside the house. As she approached the front door, she claimed she heard a loud growl that was described as being a deep tone, and similar to that of a large angry dog. Before anything else could happen, the woman got herself and her 2 kids in the house, and closed and locked the door quickly behind her. It wasn't long before she called the husband to come home quick because a large animal was outside. When the husband came home, it was discovered at this point in time the family cat had gone missing. So the husband went looking around nearby to see if perhaps there was any bears or large wild dogs in the region. After a moment of searching, the husband also began to notice a strange silence, only to spot a large creature running through the forest. This led him to take aim at the creature, but it was running too fast and was able to get away. This led to the couple to reporting the encounter as that of the Dogman, as any other explanation was impossible to explain. Unfortunately, their cat was never found, A woman from England encountered what she thought was a Dogman-like creature. She saw the creature while out in her garden. She said the following about the encounter. "I have a strange story. Me and my husband own a large house that has a lot of land. Our garden backs onto a large wooded area and we have fences so it separates us from the woods. On this particular evening we were sitting outside towards the end of our garden. At the bottom we have a setup of chairs and tables. After sitting here for an hour or so, my husband decides to head inside for a shower. I told him I would be inside shortly. After around 30 minutes of him being gone, I started to hear these strange noises. It sounded like someone was walking behind our fence. This was odd because it was gone 10 PM at night and usually we don't get people back there. I tried to ignore the noises, but every so often I could hear the snapping of twigs. Being a naturally nosy person, I decided to try and find out what was going on. I located a slit in the panels and was able to peep through. I was then shocked to see what looked like a large hairy man. This initially threw me off as it looked like something from a movie. I tried to call my husband's phone but he was already in the shower. I started to get worried as this figure appeared to be quite big, and as mentioned our property is out in the sticks. This time the creature was on the floor scuffing up the leaves. This time I got a better view, and the only way I can describe it is it looked like a giant hairy man. I quickly made my way back to my house and as I opened the door my 2 dogs ran out. I had no way of stopping them and the first place they went to was the bottom of the garden. When they got there they started barking non-stop. I ran upstairs and told my husband what I had seen. Once he got dressed we went out to investigate the woodland. In the area adjacent to our house were scratch marks on the trees, and what appeared to be human-like footprints. These footprints though were massive. My husband compared them to his size 11 boot and they were much bigger than that. After this I started to get worried and asked if we could go back inside. Once we got inside my husband could see I was worried and asked me what I wanted to do. I told him that maybe it was a wild animal, but this thing didn't look like any wild animal I'd seen before. It couldn't have been a wolf either as we don't get these in England. Another encounter with the alleged Dogman has come from India. 2 watchmen have reported seeing a mysterious creature they can't explain. The 2 men have said that these reports keep happening around flea markets. One of the issues though is that these men have never seen anything like this before. The descriptions have been vague, with one eyewitness saying the creature was black and had glowing red eyes, saying that before encountering it they had a strange sensation. Another eyewitness gave a better description and said the creature they saw was a black dog that had glowing red eyes. This isn't the first time a creature like this has been observed. Going back a few years ago, people from all over the world started to report seeing large black-like dogs, and nearly everyone who saw them said they had glowing red eyes. Each of these encounters followed a similar theme. Usually the person would be alone. It would be late at night, the dog would be abnormally large, and it would have glowing red eyes. When reported, most of these encounters are just brushed aside, and officials suggested that what people were seeing is stray dogs. However, the eyewitnesses have said that what they've encountered wasn't any ordinary dog. It's interesting to note that the Navajo Native Americans have been talking about these creatures for years. Though many know them as the Dogman, the Navajo call them the skinwalkers. They say the description of these creatures is like a human, but instead they have werewolf-like features. The Navajo describe them as possessing superhuman strength, being able to move very fast and having the ability to easily take down a human. Although many people have come forward with their reports, as of right now the mysterious Dogman remains a mystery until more evidence can be gathered. So my question to you guys is, what do you make of these claims? And do you think the Dogman is real? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.